And welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. And I hope you had a nice weekend, didn't commit a pile of nutritional and lifestyle sins and violations. And, okay, well, it's okay. You're here now. It's all good. Yeah. And we're here Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. We're live, and the show airs 9 to 11 Eastern Standard. Is it EST, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. I wish they would just fix the clocks, leave it at one thing and let it be. Every year, twice, move it back, jump forward, jump in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a lady when I was working at the police department. She goes, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, why is that? She goes, moving these clocks, my roses are going to burn up.
She's probably hitting that bourbon a little hard. Yeah. And we cover the gambit. If you're new to the show, everything from A to Z, that's what we do. And diet, lifestyle, medical news, experts from around the world, literally, and within, of course, the continental United States. And we're always at it. Never run out of things to focus on. And try to do the show with a great sense of optimism and hope, notwithstanding some of the, negative. There's always something coming over the transom that's a little dark. Today's no exception. But it's a story that I need to report on, because I know that if there are more than a few people listening or watching this show right now that will be, unfortunately, captured by this story. And I was in the building the other day. I was here at the complex, the iHeartMedia complex here in Tampa the other day, and a person's name will go unsaid. Individual walked up to me and said, Doc, I'm breaking down. And I looked at him and I said, well, what do you mean? And he started to tell me a number of the maladies that have now beset him. And he was shocked. Everything, from the top of his head down to his midsection. There were like 2 or 3 issues that came up all of a sudden. And he volunteered his age. He's, a little past his mid-50s. And I'm standing there, I'm listening to him, and I was thinking, when I was in my mid-50s, 50, like a muscle car, beast. And he's talking about breaking down. Now, I've been here for 12 years. We'll be working on 13 coming into this building. And I know everybody. And I've watched this particular individual over the years, and I've never said one word to him. Gain weight, I see what he eats, he smokes, and he's gotten really heavy, and you can tell that his lifestyle is just dreadful. And he's standing there talking to me, and he's surprised that this is happening to him. And I'm thinking, how could you not understand this very simple idea? If you don't take care of yourself, this is what happens. You can't expect anything good. Maybe some people are thinking that somehow biologically they're invested with some degree of health all the way up to the end. It doesn't work like that. As a matter of fact, biologically, and if you want to talk about nature's agenda is to get you to propagate early and often, raise your young, and then move you out of the way. And he's one, and I guess, Gary, I don't know, maybe you do the show every day, and I try not to lose touch with reality. I'm always out in the field. I'm talking to people, engaged. I mean, I don't live in a bubble, and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe he's the norm and not the exception. I mean, he was truly shocked, and he's disclosing like 2 or 3 issues, and he said they happened all at once. I'm thinking. And I said to him, that's typically what happens. I almost said when you don't take care of you, and I did. I resisted because I didn't want to make him feel bad.
Right.
Right? So what may seem patently obvious, I guess, maybe isn't such. I don't know.
No, because we're being commercially tricked into killing ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I thought I would catch a lot of heat the other day when I said diet is the leading cause of disease and early death. And I wanted to be strong. I want to say diet is the major cause of death. And then I saw an article with the headline, diet is killing us. Right. Literally.
I watched a thing on PBS on how granulated white sugar is made. And I didn't realize they used lime.
You didn't know that?
They put lime in it.
Right. Not from the tree, not limes, those limes.
Lime, the acid rock that they put on the roads.
Yeah. And I guess I should not presume. The audience for this show is very informed and smart. I mean, we can tell from the calls. We get good questions, sometimes difficult questions. People are motivated. So, you're almost speaking to the choir, but even the choir sometimes can sing out of tune or get the wrong song in the hymnal.
Yeah, it's interesting, Doc, because I do a lot of the social media for us, and I meet a lot of people.
All the social media for us, not some.
I meet people. We're doing several events now a month that I'm meeting people and stuff. And you will not believe the people that the first thing that they don't understand why they're not losing weight or why they feel bad or why they continue to have terrible health is what they eat.
I'll say it one more time, and I'll be devoting more time and attention, more than ever before, about diet. I am now, after 12 years, just doing this show, never mind, I won't tell you how many before. There's no ambiguity here. There's no shades of gray. It's not, maybe, I'm not sure, we got to hedge our bet. There's no hedging. The diet that the majority of Americans are eating is a disease and early death related way of eating. I'm sorry. I can argue that with anybody. Bring them on. Bring on any nutritionist, dietitian. They're welcome to come on the show. If you're listening, we'll book you. If you think that's not true, we'll have it out on the air in a nice way. It is the leading cause of disease, chronic disease, and early death in this country. And not only here, but around the globe. And the evidence keeps building up and compiling. And so you don't need to look for the holy grail of nutrition or longevity or beauty or anything else. It's the plate right in front of you and what you put on it. I was thinking about this guy, and he's totally clueless. And I wanted to tell him, but I resist because he's not a candidate for it. He would not take it well. We'll keep trying. Come back. Gary will tell you how to get in touch with us. Dr. Jason Mitchell is the guest today. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, Coast to Coast.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. You're welcome to call the show, dial in, text, Facebook, YouTube, MyTube, AnyTube.
You can chat on YouTube. I do have live chat up right now. So if you do want a live chat on YouTube, it comes right to me.
Here's some phone numbers. Here's how to connect.
877-897-8255. Or you can reach Dr. Garko at drgarko at letstalknutrition.com. Follow us on Twitter at LTN Radio and Let's Talk Nutrition. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, remember it's like Let's Talk Nutrition, one word.
It's all good. And our app, we have an app.
We do have an app. It's you can download it from your Android or iTunes store, either or. It comes right up to you. It's got 3 little things on there. You can watch the videos of our past shows. You can go and directly connect with Dr. Garko because that goes right to your email.
Exactly.
Or you can get a $5 off a $30 purchase at Vitamin Discount Center's online store.
All good.
Hey, if you're on iTunes, you can follow us on iTunes. We're in the top 5 now on nutrition on iTunes.
Is that right?
Nationwide, Doc.
We're doing all right. Thanks to you, the listener and the viewer. And check your local radio station. They may have podcasts. They may have apps. If you want to listen to their programming, including this show, you should check their website. A lot of the radio stations are doing that now. A lot of the affiliates we have are not iHeart affiliates, but we love everybody. And check them out. We support big, small, and in between. We don't care. We love the affiliates, and we appreciate them airing the show. We're grateful that they give us the opportunity to come into your community. There was a story trending this morning. This is, again, one of those stories that, I wish somebody's got a report on it, and we need to know. And it deals with loneliness. And the headline on the story was Loneliness, a Bigger Killer Than Obesity. Oof. Now, if I wish I had $1 for every time I said obesity is, the major health problem, public health issue of the 21st century right now. It is. And we know that it's a major public health concern. No doubt about it. More than a third are obese. The other, about a third are overweight. Now, there's new research that would suggest that there are 2 bigger threats, more so than obesity and overweight: loneliness and isolation. You think about it for a second, even before I go further, this starts to make sense. Why would that be? Because people are living longer. We've figured out how to keep people alive longer. The elderly population is growing in size. And one of the features of getting older is that people around you are passing away. You're not, and you're by yourself. This is now becoming a major concern. This particular study, they did 2 meta-analyses from Brigham Young University. And their analyses revealed that loneliness and social isolation can serve as a risk of premature death by up to 50%. One of the co-authors on the study, Dr. Julianne Holt-Lunstad, she's a professor of psychology at BYU, was commenting on this. And, the researchers, sometimes they even get surprised by what they find because they don't know. They have hypotheses and theories, hopefully, moving into a study. Sometimes you don't, and you just have a research question or 2 that you'd like to ask because you don't know what may happen. Now, the terms loneliness and social isolation are used interchangeably, but those are different concepts. Social isolation, operationally, is a lack of contact with other people. Loneliness is a feeling, it's an emotion, where a person will feel emotionally disconnected from others. So social isolation is a physical disconnect. Loneliness is an emotional disconnect. That's the way I interpret what they were saying. In essence, then, a person can be in the presence of others and what?
Feel lonely?
Exactly. This happens a lot. I can tell you that, let me throw in another variable. They didn't do that, but let me just throw this in. These two issues become exponentially more difficult and troublesome when the individual is not well and they're afflicted with some serious health issue or issues. They may have comorbidities and they're by themselves. They may be socially disconnected and they may be emotionally disconnected. Both. Not one or the other, but both, on top of it being ill. And you think that there are only a minority of people? No. Stands to reason. More people are living longer. The older population, that demographic is getting bigger and bigger. Tell you a little bit more about this when we come back. Dr. Jason Mitchell is my guest today. I'll get him to comment on this. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast, where we hope that we are connecting to you in every sense of the word.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Turns out, according to this new study, 2 meta-analyses, that loneliness could be a bigger risk to people in terms of early death than obesity. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Dr. Jason Mitchell will be my guest here in a moment. Let me put a button on this story. Turns out, in the second analyses that they did, meta-analyses, the researchers found that loneliness, social isolation, and living alone were all correlated with an increased risk of early death. Let me quote them. Quote, what is more, the team found that the risk of early death associated with loneliness, social isolation, and living alone was equal to or greater than the premature death risk associated with obesity and other major health conditions, close quote. Dr. Julianne Holt-Lunstad said, quote, this is robust evidence that social isolation and loneliness significantly increase the risk for premature mortality, and the magnitude of the risk exceeds that of many leading health indicators, close quote. Now, I'm surrounded by a lot of people, no doubt about it, relative to the show, but in my personal life, not so much. I know a lot of people. I'm a public figure, blah, all of that. I have my family, my daughter, my grandson, and an aunt, her children, and that's about it. And over the past 9 months, of course, I'm not married, I live alone, and I've said this to people. I've been asked on air, other interviews, and off air by people, just everyday people asking me, what has been the most difficult challenge in fighting cancer for 9 months on a 2-front battle? And I say unequivocally, without hesitation, being alone. I would not recommend it. Now, my daughter has come down from time to time. She lives in another state. And people have lives. And you can't expect people to be showing up at the door here and there and whatever. It just doesn't work like that. They will come if you ask them. But, I don't want to do that. And that has been the most difficult part. So I can speak from firsthand experience. And I can imagine those who are not, I'm pretty capable, very capable. But being alone and being that ill and fighting for your life, I would not recommend it. Don't do it. I'm telling you from my own experience. That has been the hardest challenge. I've shared that with Gary on more than few occasions.
You have. And one of the things that I think is interesting is that you do have a lot of friends, but you don't reach out. That's not
I'm
you.
a loner.
You are.
I'm a loner. And that's by choice. And I don't want to impose on people. Would come to the people for whom I work have all of them have gone above and beyond what I would ever expect anybody to do. They've been like, they are family to me, not like they are. I've had owners of the company drive me to a hospital when I had to go surgery, sit there all day and wait till I get out of surgery, or get limousines when the days I couldn't drive under heavy morphine, arrange everything, bring meals in. David in particular, you know who I mean.
Yeah.
I can't say his last name. He wouldn't. I don't have permission. He'd been like a brother to me. But, he has a family. He can't sit. How many nights I've walked that floor, man. You know how long my house is, right? That long walk. Pace the floor. You're in pain. You're alone. So you're out there. I know you're there because I know the demographic for this show. If you need help, don't be like me. Reach out. Reach out. Don't try to do this alone. I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend it. I'm pleading with you. Don't do it.
We had an incident this weekend in our family where somebody being alone, there was an incident. We actually had to go help them and pick them up off the floor.
Yeah. This happens.
And they actually hesitated in calling.
I know. Well, I have reached out there on 2 occasions. I had to call somebody to come. I needed some assistance. But please don't do it alone, especially if it's cancer or something that's really, the treatment will do you in. But I just wanted to share that with you from a personal experience. The story resonated with me. I'm not lonely and I'm not socially isolated, but I am alone. And being that sick for 9 months, again, don't do it. Take it from me. Don't do it. My guest is Dr. Jason Mitchell. Always nice to have him on the show. We'll switch up to the more positive switch here. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to have you on.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Garko. It's good to be back.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good.
Get ready for Expo East, pal?
Yeah, you know what? It always is that. As about a month out, we always have a lot of planning that goes on and a lot of things that happen between both companies that I own, and it's a lot of work without a doubt, but it's still fun. I look forward to the show every year.
You gonna have a booth?
You only get to. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Attaboy. We'll stop by and see you.
Of course.
Can we take a picture with you?
Hey, come on now. You're funny.
Gary will be with me.
Right on.
Yeah, we got a room together.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you guys are roommates at the show. That's
I hope
nice.
he doesn't snore. I'll kick him out the door. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So you're doing okay, huh?
Absolutely. Just got back from I guess you could call it a family vacation. I worked on my vacation, but just getting away before my son goes back to school. We try to do that every year, just to reconnect as family and away from work and away from the nonsense, and then being able to get ready for school and get his head right. So, because it's a lot of work, and there's always that stress of enjoying the summer for a young kid, and then all of a sudden right back into the throes of it. You know,
How old is your boy now?
He's 10.
I remember when he was 2. I remember when he was born.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
I remember coming to your house. He was just, not even up to my, just a little tiny, couple of years old. It was small.
Oh yeah, he was tiny. I think when you came by the house, I think he might have only been 2 or 3.
He was. That's it.
About 2. Yeah, he was a little guy.
My goodness. Pretty soon gonna be asking you for the keys to the car, pal. It won't be long.
He'll be asking a lot.
We come back. I know you have a lot on the menu, and we'll get you to serve it up. I know it's fresh, and we'll get to that. And Dr. Jason Mitchell will be my guest. You're invited to call. We encourage you to call. You can ask him questions. You can comment. Maybe you have an idea or two about what he's talking about. And we encourage that because we like dialogue around here. It's far more interesting than monologue. And we'll look for you after these important messages. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, featuring Dr. Jason Mitchell, coast to coast.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Jason Mitchell is my guest, and Dr. Mitchell, he alluded to two of the companies that he has and involved in. I'll get him to tell you about those right now. Dr. Mitchell, Probulin is one, and the other?
The other is Medican, which is the makers of Hemp Fusion, which is one of our products that is based on the science that's emerging around hemp and everything that it does. So it's quite wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And what did you put on the menu for today?
Well, you know, I definitely wanted to comment on what your monologue was about, because I think it's a really important subject matter.
Of course.
This idea that being alone can be, problematic. And, I'll tell you that I can't compare, not even remotely close to what you've been going through and the grace in which you've been doing it. I mean, I got to be honest. I know a lot of people that, or I've known people in my life that have gone through such challenges and have not done it with as much grace as you have, and it is with much honor as you have, because honestly, you've been transparent about it, and I think that you've encouraged a lot of people, so I commend you for that, because it's pretty important, especially as I know it's been very rough for you, as you've shared multiple times.
Thank you.
But, when I got sick is what inspired both my companies into existence today. I believe through trouble, some really deep inspiration can happen. But, it's interesting. When I was at my sickest, that was about 5.5 years ago, I did isolate myself. And it was out of pride, out of shame. Not that you should be ashamed of being sick. It's just sometimes that, I think it's human nature that we don't want to burden other people. We don't want to become that person that's, constantly talking about all the ho-hum stuff, when we don't realize how much people actually would love to come to your rescue, per se, or to be involved in at least shedding some positive moments in your life. And, spiritually, biblically, we're not supposed to walk this earth alone. Mm. It's one of the best examples you can see to where we're not supposed to walk this earth alone. How many dating websites are there? How many focuses are there on trying to find somebody to spend life with? Mm. How many things are there about developing families or communities? If you look at people that go through drug abuse and recovery, it's all about the community. They're not supposed to do it alone. In fact, they get sponsors. There's so many different aspects in our lives that are screaming for the fact that you can't do this life alone. Whether you're sick, whether you're healthy, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You're not supposed to do this life alone. And a lot of times we don't even factor in the details around just work. Mm-hmm. We isolate ourselves every single day. I mean, work has become this thing now where we can literally sit in our cubicle and all communicate digitally. I mean, I watch, for example, I have a niece that's living with me now. Mm-hmm. Her and her girlfriend can literally be on the couch right next to each other, and they're communicating by Facebook or Snapchat next to each other on the couch.
I know.
We have digitally isolated ourselves in so many aspects to where it's crazy, when in fact the idea of human interpersonal relationships are becoming somewhat of a digital reality, and we don't have that constant interaction.
Yeah, we want our relationships to be mediated by technology. It's mediated communication.
No, absolutely. And something like a hug, and I know that sounds so cheesy, but I hope it's...
No.
Okay.
What'd I do this morning?
You came in and gave me a hug because you haven't seen me since Friday.
I walked in the door, and he started, Doc, blah, blah, blah. I said, stop. And then I hugged him. I said,
right.
This is more important than whatever you wanted to tell me about this show today.
That's 100% correct. There couldn't be a more important topic. Listen, as much as I love to talk about my companies and what they could potentially do to help others, let me tell you something. The topic that you bring up is something so deeply personal to me, to families, to people. There isn't a more important topic. There was a movie a long time ago that the late Robin Williams was starred in called Patch Adams, and they talked about...
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. These are all about kids being sick, and what did he do? He went in and actually had physical contact about this doctor that would do this but make them laugh and have a short, potentially, but very very personal relationship, and it makes differences in people's lives. Laughter being medicine is kind of funny, but laughter is not something that we do very often alone. unless we're laughing at ourselves, which is an awesome thing to do.
I know. And, I know you, listen, I remember when you were having your health challenge 5.5 years ago, and it was no picnic, and I know that was a very difficult moment in your life, and it was transforming. Sure. And you make a good point. So many people have come up to me and say, how could you get sick? You're not supposed to get sick. And, here I am, a host of a nationally syndicated health talk show, and I'm fighting a two-front battle with two different types of cancer at the same time. And people saying, yeah, I see it. I had somebody actually say to me, a lot good, all those years of healthy living did. I said, stop. I said,
if I saved you.
I said, if I had not been I was healthy. I said, I've been able to fight. I said, I would have been done. I would not have been able to wage it. Neither would it have you in the way that you did, Dr. Mitchell. And, there is, you're almost, I had to think about it about 2 minutes maybe. I slept on it. I woke up the next morning and said, I am going to make this public. I don't care. I don't care what people think of me, because I know I might be able to help somebody. And I've been candid and transparent. I've done my best, Dr. Mitchell. I've done my best to do that. And so have you. You were candid and open. But people think that just because you know something or thing or two about health and wellness and whatnot, that you're not supposed to get sick. Why, hell, I'm biological just like everybody else, and so are you.
Darren Dalton just died with brain cancer.
There you go.
Here's a guy that was an athlete, was an MVP, took care of himself.
Fate, we have our agenda, and fate and the Almighty, they have their agenda. So I'm just saying. Very well stated, Dr. Mitchell. Very nice. We appreciate that you shared that. You're right. It is a priority. One of the things I've learned for sure, we're all in this together. I don't care what your politics are, your religion, your gender preference, whatever. That I don't care. And yet, at the end of the day, we're all in it together. And that's why we have to love one another more and help one another and be kind. Even to some, and even be nicer and kinder to those people that are hard to like. That's practicing Zen on a different level. We'll be back with Dr. J. Very well said, Dr. Mitchell. Very nice. We'll be back with Dr. Mitchell. We'll get into all this. We'll take Joe's call in St. Pete. I apologize for leaving you hanging out there in the broadcast ether, Joseph. We'll get to you right away as soon as we come back. And then I have a story to share about, and I don't know how these two words get in the same sentence, hospital and fast food restaurants. Welcome to the show. And great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by today. Great, really. We love being here, and we love that you're there. Dr. Jason Mitchell is my guest today, and he always has fresh things to serve up. We'll get to him in 1 second. There are two words that should never appear in the same sentence: hospital and fast food restaurant. Well, they do. I'll tell you about that in a second. Gary's going to tell you how to connect to us and to connect to Dr. Mitchell as we move through our conversation with him today. It's easy.
You could go to 877-897-8255 and call us. Or you can write Dr. Garko at drgarko@letstalknutrition.com. Don't forget to follow us on our Twitter and our Instagram. And you can also follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Nutrition.
We stream live on Facebook and we stream live on YouTube.
We do.
So it's all good. And there was a story I found this morning trending, and it was dealing with U.S. health experts calling hospitals to serve vegan food. And healthy plant-based meals, the argument is, would benefit hospitals and the patients, that is. And the American Medical Association, which is, of course, the largest organization of physicians and medical students in the United States, are wanting to see an improvement in the health of patients, of course, staff and visitors, and has adopted a resolution to the end of trying to get more plant-based foods into the hospitals. This is all good. Sign me up. On the flip side of that coin, came across an article in Huffington Post. Now, it's not recent, but the headline was, fast food chains are allowed inside hospitals in these 15 states. And Florida is among them. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Maryland, Mississippi, North Carolina, and Oklahoma, Ohio. They're everywhere. 15 states. Now, I'm not going to mention the hospital, but there's one hospital I've been to over the years, bring my mom and whatnot. Fabulous hospital. McDonald's is there. You want to know what's right above it? The cardiac unit. How convenient.
And it was funny that I knew that.
I was telling Gary about it, and I said, guess what's on? I mentioned the hospital to him. I said, got a McDonald's. I said, you want to know what's above it? And he told me, he said, the cardiac unit. I said, how do you know that? And you knew that because?
As they hire us off duty.
He was a police officer and used to, I kid you not, the McDonald's is on the first floor, and on the second floor is the cardiac unit. The irony of that. Why would you have fast food chains in a hospital, for heaven's sake? And they're allowed in 15 states. I don't get it. Well, probably many of the people got in that place in the first place because they were going to fast food chains. It's like saying, I'm in hell. How do I get out of hell? Just go deeper into hell. No. Dr. Mitchell is my guest, Jason Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back. And we have a caller from St. Pete. Let's see what's on Joseph's mind. You may be able to help. Let's ask. Joseph, welcome to the show. Thank you for waiting.
Okay, Doc. It's always a pleasure. I don't have no trouble waiting. I have a quick question. I know it's probably not the topic, but what is the safe zone or safe number if someone decides to lose weight? Should they lose 5 pounds in a week, 10 pounds in a week, 2 pounds in a week? Is there a formula somewhere that's safe?
Okay, good, excellent question. Let's have Dr. Mitchell, no pun intended, weigh in on it, then I'll give you my take.
Thank you.
It's kind of interesting. When everybody focuses on, a diet and looking for the perfect scenario of how much weight someone should lose or how little or whatever the case may be, what is, like you're asking, what is the safe weight? The one thing that I'll tell you is this. There is no such thing as a diet. There is only what I like to call a live it, something that you have to live out, meaning we have to change the way we eat and change the way we live. And as far as the number, I can tell you that the numbers can be far bigger when there is more to lose, at least initially. Because a lot of times when people start a weight loss program or a weight management program, one of the first things that's lost is a lot of excess water weight in the very initial stages. And then after that, slowly but surely, or at least in my opinion, it should be very slowly and very surely, as we change our diet, as we incorporate more exercise and other things into our life, and that we live a different lifestyle, the weight should be slow but consistent. Because it didn't come overnight and it did not come fast, some people think it's fast, but if you look over time, it came slowly but surely. If it comes off too quickly, this is just my humble opinion, and I've seen this with a lot of people, is that if it comes off too quickly, and it comes off almost artificially, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but a lot of times they're using a lot of enhancements or supplements or medical treatments or
drugs,
weight loss clinics, drugs, exactly, and they artificially increase the amount of weight loss. There tends to be this thought in mind that everything is moving in the right direction, and somehow they're just making some massive massive steps towards being healthier, when in fact they're totally and completely chemically dependent on whatever it is that they're using. If you change the way you eat and change the way you live, your metabolism will respond in kind, but it's going to take time. And when it begins to trust you, and I'm not suggesting that there is that your metabolism has a psychological response to your weight loss, but it's almost like that, is that as you begin to feed the machine of your body better, your body will then rely on the availability of the resources and thus respond in kind by releasing the stores that have unfortunately added up over years. And it should be slow and consistent.
Sure.
There is not a perfect number. Everybody's different.
Well,
there isn't a perfect number, in my personal opinion.
Now, all that Dr. Mitchell said, I agree with. And I always say to clients, if you can lose a pound a week, I consider that to be great success. And if you think about that, if you do, first of all, I don't believe in weight loss diets. Weight loss diets do not work in the long run. I believe in nutritional and lifestyle principles that can be invoked and little by little integrated into the person's life. Now, that takes time, as Dr. Mitchell said. I look for small wins. 1 pound a week is great success. That would become, if you think about it in numbers, roughly 3,500 calories, they say, is equivalent to about a pound of fat or a pound of flesh. Okay. So if you had a 500-calorie deficit every day, either through reduction in calories or increased activity, like creating a 500-calorie, let's say you're eating 3,500 calories a day or 3,000. If you can reduce it to 500, get a 500-calorie deficit, 7 times 500 is 3,500. That's about a pound a week. Dr. Mitchell is right. Initially, the weight will come off a little quicker when you start to reduce calories and increase your activity. But as time goes on, it gets a little tougher. But a pound a week is great success. You hear all these claims. You see them on TV all the time. Dr. Mitchell sees them too. You can lose 20 pounds in a month. You order our food, we'll ship it to your house, this and that. All these gimmicks. And
oh, my gosh.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
But a pound a week would be great success.
And you know what? If they can ship it to your house, then it is not real food. Just to be clear. If they can ship it to your house in little packages that you peel back and put in a microwave, it's not real food. Real food it's
so,
in the produce aisle. It's in the produce
Doc,
aisle.
I didn't mean go on a diet. I meant actually changing my eating habits.
I understand. You want to lose weight and keep it off and never have to diet again? Move more towards a plant-based diet. Less meat, less dairy, and so on, and more plants. Starchy vegetables, legumes, fruits, seeds, nuts. By the way, the word diet, the root word is what? D-I-E. Be right back.
Are you waking? Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilomax, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Dr. Mitchell, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Probulin, go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, before I forget, I wanted to comment on that hospital thing where you said that. I know which hospital you're talking about, by the way.
I know you do.
And around the corner from that McDonald's is a Starbucks, and it gets worse and some other things too. If you look around, there's vending machines and this whole little suite of vending machines. But you know what's really sad is, forget about the hospitals for a second, because hopefully not a lot of people are visiting them every day. But something that our children are visiting every day and coming up in the next week or two when they go back to it is school.
Yep.
And schools are being marketed by Papa John's, Chick-fil-A, by McDonald's. All these different fast food chains have their day of the week. And, you know, there used to be that whole adage of the crazy
day of the
cafeteria.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Oh, look at the schools. They market them. Those are like different things that they offer. Like they'll have pizza day and it'll be Papa John's. It'll be something of that nature. It used to be where we had the crazy cafeteria lady. In my case, it was the crazy cafeteria guy, and they would make the food. Now, we may have not liked it. We may have made jokes about mystery meat, but there were vegetables and things there at least. And in some schools, they even introduced the idea of putting a salad bar, and they asked kids, why do you have a salad? And they're like, well, it just looks good. You know what's amazing? Kids are much smarter than we give them credit for.
I know.
If you offer them healthy foods, believe it or not, if it looks good, we as humans were created to see the beauty in vegetables. That's why when you see a really well-done produce aisle, you see a lot of people gathering to buy it. But when it's not done well, you won't sell as much produce. I will tell you, the more beautiful and brighter you can make the foods, which is what nature already provides, you're going to get better results with better, healthier foods. And I love the fact that you said eat less animal-derived, not known animal-derived. Because exactly. I will tell you, right. I am so adamantly opposed to this idea that we should all be only plant eaters, when in fact we should be mostly plant eaters. But there are some reasons why human nutrition does need some products that do come from animal. Doesn't mean you have to eat flesh, doesn't mean you have to drink milk. But the fact of the matter is that there is a need for a balanced, healthy diet, and it does not happen with fast food.
Yeah, and one paradigm of eating doesn't fit everybody, and
that's right.
Where I'm at in my life and my health, and for my circumstances, I'm eating a whole food, plant-based diet right now, no meat, no dairy, for purposes of my health, and just trying to do that to accommodate the battle that I'm fighting. But it's not for everybody, we know Dr. Mitchell will tell you there's no exception to this. Around the globe, for hundreds, if not thousands of years, we now have the evidence where they tend to eat more of a plant-based diet. Those people and those cultures do much better in longevity and quality of life. Just saying, we don't need a clinical trial to demonstrate that.
No.
And by the way, the plant-based diet, moving more toward that, not maybe exclusively, accommodates what you're trying to do from a supplement perspective, doesn't it, Dr. Mitchell?
Absolutely.
Explain.
Well, here's the deal. What inspired my company Probulin into existence, period, was the fact that I went through an illness. Now, I'm not suggesting my products cured me, because they didn't even exist. I hate it when people do that. There is nothing that we do on the side of supplements that cures anybody. All we simply do is nurture the body with good, wholesome supplements that can help support the body, in hopes that the body can heal itself. A father of medicine, a famous phrase that he had, Hippocrates, said, "Let food be thy medicine." And, and why I always say that in every lecture, I make sure to mention that it's not, he didn't say a selectively isolated compound from food. He said food. And he didn't say a supplement is medicine. He said that we should be looking to our diet, if we were to modernize what he said in the phrase. And what inspired my company Probulin is when you start to look at the whole idea, where does all this food go? And the food goes into your digestive system. And the digestive system is designed to handle a lot. But for what your body can't physically break down or deal with, your body has an answer for by these inhabitants, these organisms called probiotics, or gut microflora. And these organisms are so incredibly powerful. Not only do they help with supporting the immune system, I mean, most people, the two ideologies they hear about when it comes to probiotics is they hear about it, well, when you're using an antibiotic, you need to take a probiotic, or it helps with your immune system. These organisms do far more than that. They offer defensive support through bad organisms entering the body. They help you digest your foods, whether it be fiber or any type of foods. They help create enzymes. They actually even create vitamins and nutrients. In fact, they can even, it's very microscopic, but I'm using this in the most extreme of suggestions, is that they even are a portion of your calories per day that they actually, their bodies, when passing on, their protein structures and amino acids and all kinds of wonderful things that these organisms do, and that the healthier and more imbalanced that your gut is with regards to these bacteria, the better your body is going to digest and use the foods that you eat as well as the supplements you take. And so in my humble estimation, not because I own a probiotic company, in fact, quite the opposite. I own a probiotic company because this is true, and that is that it is the most important supplement you could take. Because it is something. These organisms, it's almost like you're adopting billions of pets every time you actually take a capsule, because these organisms don't absorb. They come into your body, they find a piece of real estate to build their home, and they then begin to develop families and cultures or colony-forming units in and around everything in your digestive system to help support you in all of these wonderful areas.
And like you do with many of your pets, you take them for a walk. Take your gut flora for a walk, okay?
There you go.
When we come back, Dr. Mitchell will continue. He's making an argument. He's telling you, he's arguing, and it's persuasive, that those gut flora are the foundation of your health. And they got to beat, they're waging a war. There's pathogenic bacteria down there, too. We'll come back, we'll learn more.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Did you know that 7 in 10 people have digestive issues? It's no wonder, really. When you take a closer look at what's inside, you'll see that our intestinal environment is similar to a lush garden, a flourishing biodiversity comprised of healthy gut flora. Flora that we depend upon for our health and well-being. Stress, over-sanitization, over-processed foods, and the overuse of antibiotics have clear-cut our guts, leaving our tummies feeling, well, not great. You see, what we have done by killing off the gut flora is damage the soil of our inner gardens. With damaged soil, nothing can really grow or flourish, and disease starts to set in. But we will let you in on a little secret. Fermentation makes all the difference. You know that bloated feeling you can get when taking a vegan protein? Oh, come on. We know you know. Almost all of us get it. That feeling comes from a natural protective casing that surrounds grains and legumes. Because this casing acts as a natural defense mechanism to prevent the grain or legume from being digested, the result is gas and bloating as it passes through our digestive tract. This is where the magic of fermentation comes in. Only fermentation breaks down this casing, freeing the nutrients for absorption by your body. Not only that, but it amplifies the existing nutrients. This means you are getting all the available nutrients from your protein. But there's more. Remember our garden that we clear cut? Well, fermentation, when done right, actually restores that biodiversity of flora. Fermentation naturally replenishes the soil in our garden. Can your protein powder do all that? Well, ours can. Fermented Vegan Proteins Plus by Genuine Health. 7 plant-based sources for a complete amino acid profile. No bloating, maximizes protein and nutrient absorption, and strengthens your gut health. Gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and 100% vegan. Try some today. Your gut will thank you. Genuine Health is possible.
Mitchell is my guest today, and we had a caller off air.
She had called in and she was asking about leaky gut, and if you guys could expand upon that a little bit. And she had also mentioned basically taking care of leaky gut without breaking in a rash. She couldn't stay on the line, so I couldn't get any more info. I don't know if that's a common thing with leaky gut or not, but she had mentioned without developing some type of a rash.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, you have a comment about that?
Well, it's specifically about the rash. I mean, honestly, here's the one thing that I want to make very, whenever a caller asks about something that is obviously somewhere where she should probably have some medical intervention, where she has either a naturopath, a nutritionist, or a medical doctor, or someone of that nature that he or she can participate with and work together with, and it usually should be a partnership. It should not be a dictatorship. And I always say that about medicine, is that a doctor is your partner, not a dictator. And a lot of times we need to trust and have faith in them, but at the same time, it's okay to ask questions. So I would always recommend in any cases like this that they get the proper medical care so that a complete chart can be created and they can really get to the bottom of what might be either linked or something that's completely separate. And, in saying that a rash as it coordinates with the leaky gut or things of that nature, to draw that conclusion over the air on a question I would never be able to do. However, when it comes to leaky gut there is a number of reasons why I believe that this takes place. And this notion of leaky gut is simply damage that it happens to your digestive system. And it can happen for any number of reasons. It can happen for the absence of certain protections. It can happen because of stress and diet, and all kinds of other circumstances can lead to this potential challenge. In fact, the condition that I myself suffered with at one point, which is an autoimmune condition called ulcerative colitis. And I believe that, inflammatory bowel issues as well, as well as all these things leading up to leaky gut, and then further on dealing with even more severe challenges that I had. I think the primary element that led me to it was stress. That was me personally, but obviously not paying attention to other things as well. But when it comes to leaky gut, there are lots of different really good strategies to help improve digestive health. Essential fatty acids are super important, the amino acid glutamine, but absolutely probiotics play a very valuable role in supporting balance within the gut, and that can give an ability to support this digestive environment in the hopes that the body will heal itself. As far as the rash, I'm sorry, Dr. Garko, I can't comment on something like that because there's just not enough information, if you know what I mean.
I respect that. No, I respect that. What's interesting, I don't want to get a little hyper-technical here, but that metaphor, leaky gut, it turns out that your intestinal epithelium, okay, that's a layer of cells that will form the luminal surface or lining of both the small and large intestine of your gastrointestinal tract. And you don't need to remember all this technical stuff, but it's made up of these cells called, it's called simple columnar epithelium cells, all right? Now, what's interesting about that, when you look at the structural components of the gut, you have these cellular junctions. You have gap junctions, tight junctions, adherent junctions, desmosomes. The whole idea of junctions where these cells, like gap junctions, you have Jason, the cells, they're within 2 nanometers of one another. So it's interesting. I put this together. I was thinking about it the other day, where these junctions, where the cells, you start to get separation and you get entrance into things are getting through that intestinal lining that shouldn't be going into the bloodstream, proteins and whatever, and these things are not tight and closed the way they should be for a lot of different reasons. But leaky gut, at one time it was considered, almost like fiction, but it's not fiction, is it, Dr. Mitchell?
It absolutely is not fiction, 100% not fiction. In fact, there's a lot of focus today on not only introducing good bacteria, but also the idea of helping to shore up these tight junctions, to help improve the cellular lining of the intestinal tract. There's no question, and anybody that would propose the idea that the leaky gut is fiction, I don't know. Maybe they're just not reading enough. I don't know.
Yeah, they need to read a little bit more. Even
need to read a little bit more.
I know, but even the traditional allopathically trained physicians now recognize that the intestinal lining can become damaged and things can get through into the bloodstream that don't belong. And now, even doctors now are talking to me about that before they didn't.
Well, leaky gut.
Do you know why they're doing that? Why more doctors are actually doing that is because today, more now than ever, doctors realize that the patients, the customers, I call them, because they are customers. They're buying something. They're buying a service. And it's interesting, these doctors, in response to their customers' needs, their customers are getting smarter. As the internet has more information, they're starting to question things more. And these doctors are now seeking training. And even within medical schools, they're starting to incorporate more training about nutrition and more training about the body in a natural perspective because it is unavoidable. You cannot avoid the reality that is true, that our father of medicine said it best to begin with, and I know I've already said it once, but let food be thy medicine. And so all these different herbs, extracts, vitamins, supplements, things that we're talking about, they're not hokum. They're very real. And these are derivatives or things that would be normally concentrated within the foods that we eat. They're becoming more aware of nutrition, so they can't avoid these understandings anymore.
And for
so they have to embrace them.
And for the LTN caller or listener, Dr. Mitchell alluded to L-glutamine. L-glutamine can help heal the gut. Yeah, we can talk about that at some other point. And then your probiotics would be like Probulin, can be very helpful. Moving away from processed foods, alcohol, just trying to get that gut to heal is very tricky business, and it takes time. But Probulin would be a good start and a good place to, from a supplement perspective, to begin. Gary, you had a comment?
Leaky gut is not diarrhea, but
no, leaky gut is your small intestine leaking. In other words, it's interesting, right, Dr. Mitchell? Anatomically, the digestive system is a system that's a closed system. It's not supposed to be connected to the overall other system. It's closed off. It's supposed to be, it's like plumbing. There's not supposed to be any leaks anywhere. And unfortunately, what happens once the food gets digested and then gets transported to the small intestine, it's got those chemicals now gets into your bloodstream, and it does that through the small intestine. But if those junctions, the cells, all the different kinds of junctions that I alluded to, are not fitted tightly, and they get damaged in different ways, things start to leak into the bloodstream. You don't want proteins going into your bloodstream and other things that don't belong there. The body sees that as an invader and then starts to attack it, and you end up with these autoimmune conditions and so on and so on. We come back. Dr. Mitchell will continue. We'll have the LTN health question of the day. What Gary's talking about is a different kind of leak.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
do this around this time, the last segment of the second portion of the show. In my conversation with Dr. Mitchell and in response to a caller's question, and I also got a text we need to answer as well about leaky gut, the question is just simply a true or false. And given what I said in that little brief anatomy lesson that I gave, you should be able to figure this answer out. True or false? Leaky gut, which is also known as intestinal permeability, by the way, is a condition in which the body and the tight junctions of the epithelial cells that line the digestive tract are damaged and therefore do not provide a tight barrier. Is that true or false? Leaky gut is a state in which the body and especially the tight junctions, in which the tight junctions of the epithelial cells that line your digestive tract are damaged, and therefore they don't provide a tight barrier, which we need. There's a hint. I know that's a little long, but go with your instinct. Go with your gut. Call this number, get the right answer, and win the prize.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
Intestinal permeability or leaky gut is prominent. I mean, I think it's darn near probably epidemic, and most people don't even know. They know when the roof in their house is leaking because, the shingles aren't tight anymore. Well, sort of the same kind of metaphor. Dr. Mitchell, I had a listener contact me by text and wanted to know if you knew of a practitioner that could help someone with intestinal permeability or leaky gut.
Wow, that's a really good question.
It is, isn't it?
Numerous times in the state of Florida. Unfortunately, the current state of affairs in the state of Florida, they don't license naturopathic doctors or physicians. They don't license them to practice to be able to see patients. There are medical doctors that actually do, I guess you could say, practice somewhat of a naturopathic ideology, which I think is important.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, in the state of Florida, I'm assuming this person's in the state of Florida.
Yes.
I don't currently have any good recommendations from a licensed practitioner that can offer this, and it's literally because of the lack of options that I've not been able to find any licensed practitioners, Dr. Garko, and you may actually know more in the state of Florida than I do. Even though I live here, I travel more outside of the state. Now, if we're in the state of California, Colorado, Indiana, New York, I could tell you numerous, because in those states they do license naturopathic physicians. In the state of Arizona, or in the state of Florida, unfortunately they don't, and I wish that they did. That may be something that we need to take up for vote as a community, because it'd be nice.
The caller mentions that her particular doctor uses muscle testing to determine what vitamins I should take. What's up with that? What is that about?
Well, you know what? Muscle testing is another way of applied kinesiology, and it's understanding the energy and how things flow through the body. The one thing that I will caution anybody with applied kinesiology is that you should really absolutely make sure that the practitioner that you're seeing is someone that is obviously well certified in this particular modality, but also is not, I guess you could say, biased by the financial attributions of products they might be selling personally.
I
know that sounds very weird.
No, I get it. No, you're right.
The bottom line is there is some imposition of bias whenever someone has something to gain from it, and it's almost psychologically something you cannot separate from your reality, because you and your constitution only carry, hopefully, things that you truly believe in, and if you truly believe in it enough, it becomes true, but not only true for you, but for everybody. And so I would say to be careful. Applied kinesiology, when there are pieces of equipment involved where there's less bias imposed, I think is a better way to do it. There are different types of machines. One of the old machines was a Computron. There's just a million different machines out there that do a similar. Applied kinesiology is real, but it just has to be done by an absolutely perfection of a practitioner, and it also should have some form of equipment that removes bias. That way, there isn't the imposition of bias. I just
get it.
I get worried about that sometimes.
I understand. Go to Peoria. We had a couple of callers last week from Peoria. Gail, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on. So,
Thank you.
is it true or false? Leaky gut, commonly known in medical circles as intestinal permeability, is where the tight junctions of the epithelial cells in the digestive tract are damaged. Therefore, they don't provide a tight barrier, so that the only things that get through that intestinal lining are the chemicals, that are supposed to, and not these proteins and others. Is that true or false?
That's true.
It is true. Congratulations. You won a $25 supplement gift card. The weather should be absolutely beautiful in Peoria this time of year.
Well, it should be.
No. Is it snowing? Is it snowing up there?
No, not yet. It's been cloudy a couple days. We've been waiting for rain, but it's never came.
Yeah.
I went to Washington Elementary in Peoria for first grade. Kindergarten, first grade.
Yes.
You know where that is?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep.
So you were born and raised there, were you?
Yes.
Caterpillar Diesel. That's my stepdad worked at Caterpillar Diesel.
The Caterpillar Diesel.
My goodness.
Yeah, see? Well, we get around here. We're not,
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening, and congratulations. You won a $25 supplement gift card.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's really nice. Dr. Mitchell, first of all, I want to thank you for being so unselfish today. You talked a lot about a lot of things that had nothing to do with Probulin or, your company, and you did that in such an unselfish way. I just got to, thank you so much for doing that. We appreciate it very much, and so do the listeners and viewers.
Well, thank you for having me, Dr. Garko.
Yeah, we always get you on. We like having you on. I like your passion and your honest and authentic approach to things. I know you always want to do the right thing, even when nobody's looking. I know you work hard at that. That product, the Probulin, I can tell people that he and his partner, Dr. Mitchell's partner, they really put a lot of science and effort and finances into developing this probiotic. It's really unique. Go to their website. What is it, Probulin.com?
Probulin.com, yes.
And learn about it.
Probulin.
Probulin, Probulin, sold in fine health stores throughout the United States. Again, thank you, Dr. Mitchell. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Think about what you're doing with your diet and lifestyle, because your health is your wealth. Catch you later.